Welcome to the Dog Nerd Show, where we geek out over our best friends. I'm Megan.
And I'm Michael, and this is a show about all things dog.
Hey everyone, today we've got Dansby in the studio. He is doing so much better, as you can see, and we would like to apologize for being gone for so long.
Yeah, we got the old COVID thing. It hit our household pretty hard.
Yeah, and Dansby was a champ because the two of us were laid up in bed like zombies, and this little fella was just a little doll. He did so good without us for so many days, and he chewed a little bit of wood on the bottom of a chair and found some places where he needed to do some work with his teeth. But other than that, he was very good.
Yeah, he was. So
he missed all of his walks and all of his playtime, so we're making up for it now. So before we jump into it, thank you so much for all of our subscribers and commenters, and if you enjoy our content, please subscribe.
Yeah. So also, if you subscribe, you can hit that little notification bell, lets you know when we have videos that come out. We try to do these every 2 weeks unless COVID hits.
We do them every 2 weeks except for COVID, so yes, we are so sorry for that.
But yeah, we really do appreciate everybody, tuning in on YouTube and then listening to us on podcasts. We're available on all the podcast networks, and we're available obviously here on YouTube.
Yeah, so we just wanted to introduce you to Dansby today. If you recall, we had him on a previous episode, but he was still afraid of Michael at that point, and so he was not comfortable being here this close. And as you can see, they are buddies now. So
yeah, it took 71 days. I think that's what we figured. 71 days before I could touch him.
Mm-hmm. And then it was really about 100 days before you could just really sit and pet him and in a kind of a longer term setting. And we attribute that to taking him over to my parents' house, where they have a dog named Jasper, and he loved Jasper. And I think, and I noticed it yesterday when we were at that event with him, I think when he is in a new situation, he clings more to Michael than he would otherwise, because he's like, okay, I got two people that I know and I'm in this weird place. So I think it helps when we were at my parents' house, because it was a new environment with new people.
Yeah, it was crazy, because before we went to your parents' house, him jumping in my lap was not going to happen. And we were there, and all of a sudden he's just running around crazy because he's so happy to be there with another dog. He jumps in my lap and just like pet me.
Mm-hmm, like in your face, kind of like, wanting attention. So as we said before, if you are rescuing a dog, it takes a lot of patience, depending on the dog.
Right.
But we were at an event, and there was a rescue group there that they actually help people find lost dogs when they go loose. And they were telling me that even some people that are interested in fostering, or people that adopt, they don't think about the things that you need to do. And one of the things that we did when we first got him, because we knew he was skittish and a flight risk, was we used 2 leashes on him, one on his collar and one on his harness. And I'm sure some people think that's a bit crazy, but if you have a skittish dog, you never know what they're going to do and what might set them off, because you don't know their history. And that just gives an extra layer of protection. And the other thing too is, really make sure that they do not have access to like getting out of the house, right? So we have a baby gate that keeps him, and then a door that keeps him sequestered to the family room and the kitchen.
Yep.
So he can't get to the hallway that leads to the front door. We don't, use the back door as much. So he doesn't have access. And that was the same way we had it for Finley and Riley, just because of safety's sake. You just don't want your dog running out the front door or
getting into areas of your home where it's not dogs friendly, if you will, you know.
Yeah, especially when you've got a new dog and you don't know, are they going to have separation anxiety? Are they going to chew stuff up? You know,
Right.
You know, if he had had access to our dining room, he probably would have chewed on our dining room furniture during COVID as well, and because there's a lot of wood to chew on. So,
Yeah.
just, you know, bear that in mind. Also, it's very important that they have a safe space like a crate, where they can go to if they feel they need to, you know, crawl in their little safe space.
Yeah, a lot of people think that crates are cruel because we associate being inside a cage with, you know, being in jail or confined. Dogs see it as a den. So even if you don't crate the dog by, you know, closing
Locking
it
it,
and
yeah.
locking it up, if you allow him to, or her, to have a
Access to it.
place to go to that is theirs and it's cozy and confined, they tend to like that.
Now, Dansby, on the other hand, does not go into his crate when
No, he doesn't.
When it's there for him if he wants to,
Yeah.
but you know, even sometimes Finley and Riley, like Riley especially, would go into Finley's
She liked
crate.
to go into Finley's crate.
Yeah.
Not hers. Well,
Yeah.
I think hers might have felt too small. I don't know, but
It wasn't too small for her, but he definitely had the spacious
Yeah.
suite compared.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know when we got it that it was a little bigger than we needed it. But yeah, and what's interesting too is, you know, he was sleeping in his crate at night when we first got him and happily went in there. But when I was out of town with my mom and Michael was here, you know, with him alone.
Pre 71st day.
Yeah, pre 71 days. He didn't want to even try to get him in his crate. So
Let me tell a funny story. So she's gone on this trip, and I'm like, okay, well, I can get him inside. So, you know, I have to let him outside, you know, and I can get him inside.
Outside to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. It took one morning, it took 2 hours to get this dog in. And I'm sitting there going, what in the world? And what it was I could bring him in with treats, but I couldn't get to the door quick enough for him to not jet and take off back outside. So it was just back and forth. I'm sure it was hilarious. If we had a camera in the house, it probably would have been hilarious.
It
watching
wasn't
this.
hilarious for me when I started getting text messages at like 6 a.m.
Yeah. So
and then 7 a.m. and then 8 a.m. about how this dog is never going to love me.
I had a doctor's appointment, and I'm like, this dog is going to keep me from going. But anyway, so I finally got him in, and here's how I did it. I went to the front door and rang the doorbell, and he went nuts, came inside and planted himself inside to see who was at the door. That was the only way I could get him in. But
we think whoever had him before, along with not taking him anywhere because he was so scared to be outside before, we think they got like DoorDash all the time or something, because whenever a doorbell goes off on TV, he barks like crazy. So,
but it's hilarious. But those are things that you'll have to think about as, you know, if you're looking to adopt. That could be part of your reality for a while. You know, you might find yourself at your front door ringing your doorbell, or you know, one of you is closing the door while the other one's dropping treats on the floor.
Standing outside for 2 hours trying to get your dog to come in. So there is that stuff, and it takes a lot of patience. And, you know, really that's the only time Michael wasn't patient, bless his heart. 71 days to touch the dog and then 100 days to really pet him. You know, it says a lot about this human being next to me. And, you know, it says a lot that Dansby trusts him now too. I've had several people say, you know, that's great that he has turned a corner, because that says a lot about Michael. So, you know, it's not that necessarily that all dogs you adopt are going to be this way. You know, we don't know Dansby's history and we don't know what he experienced, but it could be that this happens. And it's just, please be patient.
Yeah.
It is so worth it. He is just the sweetest, funniest, happiest little guy. And
the flip side of that, though, is almost instantaneously he took to Megan. Like, that's his human, even to this day. That's his human. Tail doesn't wag more for anything else in this world but her. So, you could have that experience as well. So don't let my experience derail you from going and adopting, because it could be Megan's experience that you have.
Yeah, he's my little buddy. I mean, I can't tell you how wonderful it is to wake up in the morning and to go down and to see him, because he is just like, woohoo.
Yeah.
There's my buddy, you know, and my day is just happy because that tail just wags, and you know, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
We touched a little bit on this too earlier when we were talking about.
I think he's ready to be.
Okay.
I think he's ready to be done.
All right. So we're gonna cut right here, and we'll come right back. All right. So we're back. All right. So we talked a little bit about this earlier when we talked about going to the event yesterday. There was a purpose behind that event. Mm-hmm. We had a neighbor whose dog got loose the other day and actually came up on the porch and attacked Megan and Dansby as they were coming back from a walk. It's all been settled. It was just, you know, things happen. But
it was definitely a situation where Dansby felt uncomfortable that this dog was getting in his face. He barked at the dog. The dog came after him. I scooped him up. Dansby got some abrasions on the back of his leg. I got some scratches from Dansby trying to climb up me for life, and everything was okay. But obviously we've talked about how we had some aggressive neighbor dogs before, and we had huskies that attacked Finley and Riley.
So we were nervous. Yeah. We were nervous that, oh no, we don't want to go down this road.
We finally have a dog again
that likes dogs.
That likes dogs. Who's not upset when he sees a dog.
So we went to an event yesterday. We weren't part of the event. It was, a very small event, but we went because it was a dog event and we knew there'd be other dogs there. And we were so pleased that Dansby, passed with flying colors. He likes other dogs.
Yeah.
So that we talk about our socialization. It is very important to socialize them with obviously with humans, mm-hmm. but other dogs and other pets if you can.
And new situations. And this is important whether you adopt a dog or not. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if you get a puppy.
Yep.
We probably could do a whole episode on socialization.
Yeah, I have a buddy at my office that rescued a dog, and that dog comes to work with him. We're okay with it at our job, which is great. But that dog is getting socialized by coming into other offices and meeting people at the office.
And I've done that with Dansby because since socialization was a big thing that he needed, especially with people.
Yep.
I've been taking him to my mom's office and to the downtown Pooch in Roswell. In fact, the day he got attacked, took him to the downtown Pooch. He met an older dog who he growled at first, but then he realized, oh, everything's cool. He met a boxer there. You definitely wanted to get back on the horse, so to speak, as quickly mm-hmm. as possible with him. And but yeah, the socializing to new scenarios and new experiences. Yeah. I put a pumpkin on the front porch, and Dansby was like, "Whoa!" and he was avoiding it and wanted to get away from it. New things for him scare him. It could be. Boxes left out on the sidewalk for the trash.
Well, the funny one was the other day when there was a spider web and a leaf was caught in it. Oh. And it looked like it was suspended in air. And he spent a good 5-10 minutes trying to figure this out and was, he'd come in really low and kind of get close, and then the wind would move it and he'd back up. It was absolutely adorable. Hilarious. And but that's experience he's experienced in the world, right? So as with humans, we tend to avoid or not feel comfortable around new experiences a lot of times. So it's similar with dogs, and I think it's very important to socialize the dogs when they're young. And then when something happens, like happened the other day, just like with humans, just like in your life, you got to get back on the horse. And mm-hmm. and so I was very pleased yesterday that he was enjoying the company of other dogs.
Mm-hmm. And in saying that, use treats, positive reinforcement. Mm-hmm. If your dog is food motivated, treats work great. If they're not food motivated, but they love balls or they have a specific toy that they like, use that when bringing them into a new situation. Never force them. You know, if they're not comfortable, then don't make them do something they don't want to do, because you could end up making them even more afraid of whatever it is. So definitely, we talked about this before. Time is so important when you adopt a dog.
Yeah.
So 3 days, 3 months, or 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months is the general rule. They need 3 days to just kind of realize that, okay, they're safe in this new place. After 3 weeks, they start to feel a little more confident about, okay, you know, this is starting to feel like home. And then by 3 months, could be a little bit more.
It could be a year.
Yeah, it could be a year. It depends on what the dog has gone through. But generally in about 3 months, it's like, this is my home. These are my people. This is my life. We're at about 6 months now. And I say that probably was a more accurate for us in terms of him being comfortable. I mean, I think he took to the house and everything quicker, but I think just in general with Michael and everything. But, you know, the biggest thing is these guys need love. And you know, honestly, we all need love. So just spread your loving energy to these dogs, to everybody out there in the world, and you'll be happier for it, and you'll make the world a better place.
So you went on a trip.
Oh yes,
to we'll call it the Redneck Riviera. Well, it used to be the Redneck Riviera.
The story that Michael told about Dansby and the morning he couldn't get him inside for 2 hours, that the night before, I was down in Panama City Beach, Florida with my mom, and I was like, I'm going to get us some hats. So Michael, why don't you show him the hat that I got you? I got this the night, and these were not cheap. The night before, I got him a...
So that's some...
Dansby's dad hat.
That's some PCB airbrushing right there.
Airbrush trucker hat. And then, of course, I had to get one myself. So there's my Dansby's mom hat.
And if you're from our area of the country and you're about our age, you're laughing your tail off right now.
Yeah. So I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. He's going to love it. And then at 6 a.m, I start getting these texts and I'm like, this guy doesn't even want this dog anymore. And I just got him this hat that I spent like...
I wouldn't have polled me that at that time. I was very frustrated. That was a tough morning. But now looking back on it, I knew it was my mistake, not Dansby's. I was the one making the mistake. My energy, my forcefulness, because I had something else someplace else I had to be. I had something else to do.
You weren't using force, were you?
No. I wasn't using force. I was
aggravated.
But I was aggravated. Yeah. Like, get in the house.
And the more aggravated you get, the scarier your energy gets. And so then that's like, dude, I'm not coming in that house for anything.
Right. Yeah. So he was chasing leaves or whatever he was doing in the backyard, and I'm looking at my watch going, I'm going to be late to this doctor's appointment.
And you have to understand that at that point, Michael couldn't put a leash on Dansby.
No, and to this day, it's even now, outside of having the leash in hand and him coming over to get petted, I can't just walk over to him and put a leash on.
Okay, but you know what? That's going to change because I'm going on a trip in November, so you're going to have to.
Well, we will. It'll be fine. Yes. But anyway, I think the theme of this episode is, don't shy away from adopting. Understand that there's going to be challenges when you are adopting, and once you understand that, and you realize that you're more the norm than the abnorm, I think once you get over that hurdle, the lifetime of your relationship with your new friend is going to outweigh those first months or year of having to adjust, because they don't know you, and they're in a weird place and they're trying to figure it all out.
And generally, you don't know what they came from. Like in our case, he was picked up as a stray, so we have no idea.
Yeah, and he's young. He's a little over a year old, and we got him when he was under a year old, we believe. So, not only is it a new experience, it's a new experience,
Yeah. Yeah, and if you end up with a dog like Dansby who was never socialized, it it adds another layer. So
yeah, I mean, I know this is running a little long, but just walking. When Megan took him for his first walk, he made it out to like the front yard and wanted right back in. Mm-hmm. He was scared of the world, right?
A lady started her car across the street. It freaked him out, and he pulled like, I got to get home. So we went home.
Right.
Then I took him out again, and we walked a couple houses down, and then we came back, and then, walked a little bit further the next time.
And, flash forward to now, he'll chase you out the door to go for a walk. He loves it. It is his thing to go for the walk. So don't let don't think, oh, I've got a dud here. You probably haven't. You probably haven't.
And like we said, I think in the first time we talked about this, I had a moment where I started to cry and said, did we do the right thing? And, my friend Rhonda told me, yes, it's totally normal to feel this way, because it's new for you, it's new for him. And I know we're going to look back at that day and laugh because of the love that we have for him. It's just amazing.
He's very special, and I'm happy that he's part of our family now.
Yeah.
It's helped me having him around to heal from the loss of a lot this year. So I'm very happy he's around, because he helped me get through some of that stuff. He didn't know it, but just having him around helped.
Yeah, absolutely. His tail, I don't think you guys saw his tail, but
curly tail. Yeah.
It's like a hook.
Yeah.
But it's long, and sometimes it's not hooked. We think he's probably a Dachshund and a Yorkie mix. But his tail it wags I always say it's like a flag. He's flying. It's just so happy. And just the other day, watching him play, I've never had a dog that's as playful as he is.
Yeah, me either.
He will chase a toy, or you give him a new bone and he plays with it for a while before he chews on. I mean, everything is such fun for him. And for us to just sit and watch and laugh and smile, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know what else we love? We love it when you guys comment. It really helps us. It kind of shows us a direction to go, and it
makes my day. It's like a little gift that comes through you.
We just really appreciate you guys a lot. So
yeah, and with that being said, our commenter of the show is Gary Knock. Gary commented on our wire-haired pointing Griffon video, and he said, easy to train and love their owners. They can be a bit emotional, but they are amazing. Ours does over 5 miles of constant ocean swimming every day around NS.
Nova Scotia?
Maybe it is. Gary, let us know. The non-barking aspect is also a bonus. Please don't get one unless you give them 3 hours of hard work a day, hunting or frisbee, and spend plenty of time with them. So that is awesome.
It's a fantastic comment there.
It is. And it just makes me want one even more. They sound incredible. So Gary, thank you so much for your comment. Thank you to everybody who comments. Really does make my day, makes Michael's day.
Yeah.
And whatever you want, if you are looking for an episode, let us know.
Drop something down in the comments below. We're always looking for great ideas. The great ideas usually come from you guys, not me.
Yeah. If you want to be on the show, we can set up a Zoom. So just drop us a line or comment. dognerdshow@gmail.com is our email address. You can find us everywhere on social media at Dog Nerd Show. And if you want some dog nerd gear like this border terrier wearing a bow tie, you can go to etsy.com/shop/hound and thistle.
Awesome. Well, until next time, folks. Bye.
Bye.